Hiya, how are you? You alright? Welcome back. Oh, hiya. Didn't expect to see you here. Hiya, it's good to see you again. Really nice to see you here. Is everything alright, yeah? No, you're my favourite. Don't tell the others. So, as you can probably tell by the title of my video, today I thought I would share with you my top 10 must-see TV series. This rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? I think each one of these is pretty damn good. I don't usually get into TV series, to be honest. I get bored quickly. I honestly would not have chosen these if I didn't think that everybody should see them because they are so amazing. So here is my list. Okay, my first must-see TV series is Doctor Who. I think it goes without saying that this would be on a lot of people's lists, but then again you do get people that absolutely hate it, that just can't get into it, hate the whole concept of it, aliens, monsters, time travel, space rockets, they just don't like it. But I think it is one of the best shows on TV. I think with Doctor Who it can take you anywhere. Like there's always a story that they haven't covered. You can always come up with one. It's brilliant. For anyone that doesn't know what it's about, first off, where the hell have you been for the last God knows how many years? And second, you just need to watch it. It's amazing. So basically, the main character is called the Doctor. That's just the name he goes by. We don't know his real name. And he is a Time Lord. Basically, they've all died out and he's the last one left. And he has got a special spaceship that can travel through not only space but time as well. And he picks up old Misfits and vagabonds and whoever else on his travels, and they go and have emotional, amazing, dramatic adventures. So go and watch Doctor Who if you haven't already, or rewatch it if you have, and join me in my love for Doctor Who. Okay, so my next series is one that a lot of people, I believe, will know. It's called Gavin and Stacey. The hell's that? I love this from the moment it came out. It is a British comedy. I won't call it a sitcom. It's just a comedy. It's got James Corden in, Ruth Jones, who's brilliant. They both wrote it together. And it's got loads of other brilliant actors and actresses. And it is just one of my favourite comedies. It's one of those that if I'm having a bad day, it's something I can put on and it will instantly cheer me up. All of the characters are funny. What's brilliant about it is every single one of them has quirks that are totally relatable. You will definitely know someone out of the series who reminds you of someone you know, if that makes sense. It's just brilliant, and I can't go into any more detail because I won't stop talking. I just love it so, so much. Go and watch it if you haven't already. So the third show I want to mention probably isn't as big as the other two, so people may not have heard of it as much. It's called Misfits, and it is brilliant. Okay, so the premise of the show, there are, I think, 5 young people. I think they're late teens, early 20s, something like that. They're all on community service because they are misfits, and some crazy lightning storm happens whilst they're doing it, and they develop superpowers. Whoa, just hang on. They don't just develop these superhero powers, no, some of their powers are crap. That's what's really clever about this show. It's more normal than other superhero shows. It's not like Marvel superheroes, it's not Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. type stuff. It's really funny to watch how these young people cope with having these superpowers. But the writing is really clever. It is a comedy drama, so it does get quite dark because of the content. But I love it. It's so funny. Every single actor and actress in it, brilliant casting. It is an amazing show, so please go and watch it. Even if you're not into superhero type stuff, I still think that it's kind of something for everyone. You'll probably still find it funny, so it's definitely worth a watch. Number 4, Being Human. This one is amazing. I love this show. It came out about the same time as Misfits, and it kind of, they're not similar in terms of story or characters or anything, but they're similar in the way that they take something like amazing, like superpowers, but in this case it's the supernatural, and they make it normal, or as normal as you can get it, if that makes any sense. Being Human is about 3 flatmates. There is Annie, a ghost, who inhabits the house they all end up living in together. Then there's Mitchell, just a vampire, you know, casual. Then there's George, who's a werewolf, and he hates being a werewolf. You follow them through some really interesting stories, like you find out about other supernatural stuff, and it's just a brilliant show. Again, with this, same as Misfits, the writing is so clever and the casting is brilliant. It's got Lenora Critchlow, I think that's how you say her name, Russell Tovey, who I love, I absolutely love him. Actually, I think he should be a new Doctor Who when he regenerates. I'm definitely backing him, to be honest. And also there's Aidan Turner. In case anyone hasn't heard of him, one word, Poldark, right? Can I just say, everyone is drooling over him in the Poldark. Go and watch Being Human. He was there first, he was so much hotter in that. Right, so yeah, basically just go and watch Being Human, even if it's just for Aidan Turner. But generally it is a really good show. But the next show is called Sense8. I'm not sure, again, if anyone would have heard of it as much as the other stuff I mentioned. I'm not sure how popular it is because I've never found anyone who's watched it. Basically, it's hard to explain. It was written by the people who wrote The Matrix, so you can probably get my point from just me saying that. And it's very confusing to begin with. The first episode's a bit, I was kind of bored with it. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. By the second one, I was absolutely hooked. It is brilliant. The stories in it, because there's like 8 people, hence Sense8, that are kind of connected. Oh, I'm trying to remember. I don't know how to explain this. They're basically connected by their minds. They can like see into each other's lives. Oh god, I can't explain it. They're basically linked, just the 8 of them. They can see and experience what the other 8 are doing, and they end up kind of helping each other with stuff. I'm not going to spoil anything, but yes, it is about that, and there's some bad people trying to get them. So yeah, if you liked The Matrix and Inception, stuff like that, then you'll probably like this. But it keeps you hooked because there's so many characters in it. 8 big characters, and they're all different. All of their stories grab your attention, so it's not like you'll get really bored, and it's definitely one to watch. It is on Netflix, so if you haven't got Netflix, then can't really watch it, but get Netflix just for Sense8 because there's lots of other good stuff on there too. My next one is an oldie but a goodie. It's not actually that old, to be honest. Feels like it was years ago. Ugly Betty. It is brilliant. I really miss it being on TV. Ugly Betty, I guess, was not to everyone's liking, like with a lot of things. Basically, it reminded me of The Devil Wears Prada straight away. Betty, who's, is she Mexican? I think she's Mexican. She's played by America Ferrera, who's really brilliant as Betty. And she basically works for a fashion magazine. And she doesn't fit in, but she kind of works her way through, muddles on, even though she does struggle with the environment and the people are hilarious that work there. So yes, if you haven't watched it, I think you should because it is brilliant. There's lots of drama in it, there's lots of twists, and yeah, it's just great, and there's lots of crazy outfits from the characters which I really like. The next show that I want to mention is called Once Upon a Time. I think a lot of people would have heard of this one, to be honest. I first started watching it about 5 years ago when it first started, and I remember it was on Channel 5, and now I don't think it's on any of the normal channels. It's only on Netflix. In case you didn't know what it was, Once Upon a Time is based around fairy tale characters that have basically been flung into the real world, and it starts off where they forget who they are and they've got to rediscover who they are, basically. It's really hard to explain because so much happens over the series, But the first one is basically that, and it's really interesting to watch how all the characters interact and how their stories weave together. It's so cleverly written, and the casting choices are pretty good for them as well, to be honest. But the one thing I've got to say, oh my god, the costumes are amazing in Once Upon a Time. If you haven't watched it or haven't been sure about watching it before, just watch it for that. But if nothing else, it's just good to see a new story for a beloved fairy tale character. It's brilliant. So yes, that is another favourite, and I think you should watch it. Number 8 is a show called Him and Her, which, to be honest, out of all the ones I'm going to mention in this list, it's probably the least well-known show. It's British, and it was only ever shown on BBC 3, which is now no more, apart from online, obviously. But yeah, it is very funny. It's based around a couple. One of them is played by Sarah Solomon, something like that. I forgot her name. And Russell Tovey. So he features a lot in this list, to be honest. He's in Doctor Who as well, you know. And they basically have no jobs. They've both got weird families, and they live in this flat together all day, every day. And it is more of a sitcom than any of the others, because it is literally just based in their flat. It is very funny and quirky. I don't know if everybody would like this, because it's typical British comedy. It's quite dry, and it's more sort of toned down comedy, as I like to say. It's not all big and in your face, like ha ha ha. It's more a case of just watching how people interact with each other and how hilarious they are and how weird in most of the characters' cases. If you haven't watched it, I think you should, because the episodes, even if you don't like them, they're only half an hour, so it's quite short. It's quite short episodes compared to some of the others that I mentioned, but it is very funny, and again, acting choices are very good. My next one is Pushing Daisies. This only ran, I think, for 1, possibly 2 series, which is a real shame because I absolutely loved it. The main character, whose name I forget, it might be Ned. I think it's Ned. So I haven't watched it. I've got the box set to rewatch, but it just stuck in my head that I used to love it. So that's why it's in the list. Basically, Ned has a kind of superpower, and he can bring things back to life. He's got a dog whose name I forget. I'm sorry, dog. His dog gets run over or something when he's young, and that's when he first discovers he can bring it back to life. But then if he touches something again that he's brought back to life, it will die for good, and he can't bring it back. And yeah, it just basically follows him and his love interest, who I think was played by Anna Friel. And she, I don't know if I'm creating a spoiler here, but she dies, I think it's like first or second episode, and he brings her back, and then they can never have a relationship because they can't touch again. It's really sad. They still kind of hang out, they're in a kind of relationship, and they solve murders. It's a murder mystery type show, but it's really clever the way they do it. It's very, I don't know how to describe it. It feels kind of, not cartoony, but everything's quite extravagant and in your face, if you know what I mean. You'll never forget one of the stories once you've watched it. It's one of those sort of things. That's about the best I can describe it, but it is a really good show, and it's really easy to get into and get addicted to. So I would definitely recommend watching that if you're interested in that type of thing. Okay, last one, number 10, My Mad Fat Diary. This again is a British show, so not many people may have heard of it, but it is brilliant. If you like 90s nostalgia type shows, then this is the one for you. It follows Ray, or Rachel, is her proper name. As the title suggests, she's quite a large girl, and she struggles with comfort eating because she has a lot of anxiety issues and stuff, and she self-harms, and she went to a clinic to try and help her, and the series starts when she's come out of there and she's trying to adjust to the world again. The premise of the show kind of sounds like it'd be a bit of a downer, but it's not. It's actually really funny and really nice to watch her sort of integrate again. And the characters again are very funny. As you can tell, I like the comedy, judging by this whole list. If you like 90s nostalgia, and even if you just want to watch it for that, then go and watch it because it's brilliant. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching this, and well done if you got to the end. I'm not sure if everyone will love everything on my list, but I am only recommending what I truly think is amazing. They are definitely shows that I would say, you know, give it a go if you haven't watched it or have never been inclined to. If you have any suggestions or a top 10 list you'd like to share with me, then please comment below. If you like this sort of thing, then subscribe to my channel. I try and post every week, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye!